What's happening?
Not too much. What are you doing, buddy?
Talking to you. Where are you right now?
I'm in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, nice. Hey, same time zone. What's up, buddy? Hey, it never happened. You're always like 2 hours earlier.
I know. I miss you, buddy.
Yeah, I miss you too. Hey, I want to talk about this residency here. You're doing it. You just accepted the millions of dollars to do a residency, and I'm so proud for you. Look at this guy. He needed it. Now he's doing it. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you. I could sure use it. I tell you.
What's this residency going to be about? What are you going to do there? All the hits?
That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm here to consult you.
Yeah. I think I've been to 2 shows in Las Vegas, residency shows. Obviously, I went to probably 15 or 16 of Gwen's shows, and I years ago I went to see the very first Shania Twain residency. Like that's probably been 15 or 16 years ago at least, and so I know enough about them to know that you got to change it up. I mean, I know it's not. I guess you don't have to, but what I've seen and what I've heard about them is you got to change it up from what you would normally do on tour. I mean, and so help me. I mean, God, you're just sitting there.
I'm just sitting here. I'm going to tell you why it's going to be amazing. Because first of all, and you're going to have to. It's going to be uncomfortable because I'm going to compliment you a lot. So just sit back and accept.
Oh my God!
I know.
Okay.
Just sit back and accept the compliments. This is why your Vegas residency show is going to be awesome because the venues are much tighter. They're a little smaller, but they're much tighter. Meaning Blake's going to be super close to the audience. The thing about Blake is he's become such a larger-than-life personality. I think at times people may forget that Blake can really sing. And I think the 2 things that are going to really pay off are, 1, he's hilarious, and 2, he can just sit there with a guitar and play every freaking hit that he has and sound wonderful while telling jokes, making other people who watch him extremely jealous in the entertainment world because he's got it all. So this is
uncomfortable.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
But it's why it's going to be awesome because you're going to get to do, and again, it's not going to be like an acoustic show, but there will definitely, I would assume, be moments of you just sitting there talking to the crowd because it is such an intimate place. I think this would be the best place to actually see you do a show.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm writing this down.
Yeah, put it all down there.
I got it. Well, thank you, buddy. And that is a good idea because I know that's what Garth, I didn't get to see Garth's show, but I heard that he just walked in and sat down with just him and his guitar. And I don't want to necessarily do that, but just because I feel like I'd be ripping off Garth, and I've been doing that my whole life anyway. But I do like the idea of the intimate thing, and maybe there's a time in the show where we can just do something acoustic. But I like that. Thank you, Bobby.
You're already doing this. I don't have. For everybody listening, Blake is not playing me for a fool. He was already going to do this because he knows what he's awesome at, and that's playing music and being funny. And he's got all these sections. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And for everybody listening, Blake Shelton live in Las Vegas, his first Vegas residency. It'll be at Caesar's Palace, the Coliseum at Caesars. And so today's the big announcement, and the public on sale is the 16th. So like a week and a day. So today's Thursday. So next Friday is the on sale at blakeshelton.com. That's pretty cool, man. I'm sure they've offered you this many times. Why now?
I don't remember exactly when the conversation started about us putting an old red in Las Vegas, but that's when the conversations first started that I remember, and that goes back, you can imagine, 5 or 6 years ago, just the early talks of an old red there. And I just kept kicking the can down the road because I figured I don't want to do it until the old red is up and running and all the kinks are worked out, so I can go back and forth between the two while I'm there. It'd be a lot of fun to do the show at Caesars and then go pop into old red over there and jump on stage there and do something with whoever's playing over there. So I just kept pushing until this moment came, hoping that it would come, and so here we are.
That's super cool. It's going to be a great show. Blake Shelton's on with us, which, by the way, you just celebrated 3 years of marriage. How do you guys do anniversary gifts?
This year I'm laughing because this year was kind of, it was pathetic. Like, it became, our anniversary happened, but it happened exactly when Gwen still does the voice, and I've officially been retired now over a year, and so she was filming the voice on the day of our anniversary. Just it's just the way things worked out, and so those days are like, you know, they're the longest days that we experience as spoiled entertainers. You know, I mean, literally, especially for Gwen, she gets up at like 5 a.m. and works till 10 or 11 at night, you know, filming the blind auditions. It's kind of a run and gun thing. You know, you've seen that side of that stuff. And so she came in that morning right before she left, and she had already gone through her glam and stuff. And she was literally walking out the door, and she had a box, and she was like, "This is really stupid." But I looked it up, and the 3-year anniversary traditional gift is leather. And so I opened this box, and it was like, you know, leather scented things that you hang in your truck, like over the rear view mirror, and like a leather phone case or something like that. And she was like, "I know it's dumb, but it was last minute, and I got to go," you know. So,
lots of leather.
So that was this year. Our first year anniversary was a little more special, you know. We had actual gifts and some, you know, had a moment. But this year was like, "Hey, we made it 3 years. I'll see you later."
Well, that sounds like what she did for you. What'd you do for her?
I don't remember. I think I know what I did. I ordered, I had some kind of, you ever heard of Gold Belly? You guys know what Gold Belly is?
No. Is it sushi?
Gold Belly is like this app where you can like order food from restaurants from all across the country. Like if you love, you know, freaking Biscuit Love. Biscuit Love is on there, right there in Nashville. And you can order biscuits from Biscuit Love, but have them shipped frozen to my house in Oklahoma. So I had ordered some cakes and things that, like, she loves Italian desserts. I ordered some Italian desserts that we ate the next day, which was 4th of July. That's what I did.
Yeah, that works. Hey, how did you?
It was messed up. I'm embarrassed. It wasn't the best. I admit it.
How did you and Post Malone end up doing the song together, Pour Me a Drink?
I was laughing. I was telling my publicist, Wes, I said, "Man, thank God Post Malone got me back on country radio." I never thought I would say something like that, but I don't really know. You know, I had met him, Bobby, about, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago. We did a 50-year anniversary to the Elvis comeback special, when Elvis did his television appearance after he came back out of the military. And so CBS wanted to do this, like 50-year anniversary, and I hosted the show. And then we had a bunch of different artists came and perform Elvis songs, and Post Malone was on this thing, and he was a brand new artist. I think he probably had 2 hits or something at the time, and he was just a kid. He's still a kid to me, but that was the first time I met him, and we talked that day, and I realized he's from right down here in Fort Worth. That's not far from where I live, and in Oklahoma, and we hit it off, but I never saw him again after that, you know, until this year at the Super Bowl. Gwen and I did a performance that aired like the pre-Super Bowl party, you know, and we went up to watch the game in a suite that they had, and then Post sang and Reba sang the anthem and America the Beautiful, and then they ended up coming up in that suite also, and so Gwen and I and Post ended up trading phone numbers that day, and it was another one of those things where it's like he said, you know, "Hey, I'm working on some new music. We ought to all get together and write." And if I had a quarter for every time somebody said that to me, or I said that to somebody, and it never happened, you know, I'd have $100. But I be damned if 2 months ago I didn't get a call saying, "Hey, man, is that still your number?" And one thing led to another, and I went in and sang this song, and it was like, wow, this sounds like a song I'd put on one of my records, you know. Like, I mean, Post is really really doing this. Like it, and I got to tell you guys, I love the way. I know there's always a controversy in country music about who belongs and who doesn't belong and who's country, who's not country. That I don't think that conversation's ever gonna go away. But I gotta tell you, the way Post has gone about this, I just have so much respect for him, because he's shown over the last few months that country music really is something that this guy grew up on, and it really does mean everything to him. And he's tipped his hat to all of his heroes. I mean, these shows that he's doing, these pop-up shows, he's singing. I mean, he knows more country music than 80% of the actual country artists, you know. It's amazing, you know, the stuff he did at Coachella. I did a show with him the other day there in Nashville, and he did that thing at the marathon over there, and I mean, he sits on a stool and he's playing songs that he has no business even knowing, you know, and it's because he grew. It's not like he went and woodshedded and worked these things up. He grew up knowing them, and you can tell he's just performing the songs as he's driven around in his truck singing his whole life, you know. And so I respect that about him, because the guy has really embraced. He's not just poking his head in and making a record and getting out. You can tell this is something that means a lot to him, and that he's probably obviously been planning to do for a long time. And I don't think he's going anywhere. I mean, he hasn't said that to me, but this seems like a natural fit for him, and I'm happy for him.
Blake Shelton's on with us live in Las Vegas. It's his first Vegas residency, and tickets a week and a day will be on sale at blakeshelton.com. It's at Caesars. It's going to be awesome. Final question about Vegas. Do you gamble in Vegas at all? Have any good gambling stories?
My only gambling story has come recently. Gwen was in Las Vegas doing a private show, and her best friend in the world came to the show, and we took advantage of the COVID masks, because I said, hey, does anybody have any of those? Because it's pretty much over, you know. This was about a year ago, so you didn't really see that the whole thing was gone. But it's like, does anybody have any of those COVID masks left in their purse? I want to go down there and gamble. And so we put on COVID masks, and I spent 3 hours in the casino, people walking. Nobody knew that it was me, and they would have been looking for me because Gwen was there doing a show. And I had a great time playing roulette and slots, and it was incredible. I didn't win anything, but I had a good time gambling.
You're so tall. You're so tall, though. I feel like you would still stand out. Did you have to, like, make yourself small? Even with
I found myself playing the games that must suck, because I would find places where there weren't a lot of people, there wasn't a lot of traffic, you know. And so that's kind of where I just would go set up and play and just kind of keep my head down. And not that I'm afraid to be bothered, but it's like, if I'm going to gamble, let's do it, you know.
Blake, good to talk to you, buddy. Congrats on the residency next Friday.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Tickets will go on sale. Blake, good to talk to you, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Miss you guys. I'll see you.
All right, Blake. See you, buddy.